All right, this portion is for percussionists only, so if this is not the percussion class, you can go ahead and pause the video here. But this is just for percussion. I'm going to take you on another virtual tour of the percussion instruments and the equipment that we have for this class. So, with that said, I will take you on another little tour. Here we go. We're going to start here in the back of the room, and you're going to see that we have 4 big drums back here. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are just covers on the drums. They come off pretty easily. And take them off, and obviously we have another big drum. These are called our timpani, and these are drums we will learn throughout the year. Timpani. They have pedals. They're the only tunable drum that you have. Please don't play with the pedals. You'll see them down there. See that? Don't play with those until I teach you how to use them properly. We don't want to damage the instrument. They're very expensive. These 4 instruments are probably the most expensive instruments we have in the entire classroom, and we want to take good care of them. You'll see this little thing right here. This is called a timpani tuner. It tells us which pitch we're going to go to, and it gives us pitch on these particular drums. Like I said, they're the only tunable or pitchable instruments in the percussion section besides the mallet keyboard instruments. Back there we have a bass drum. This is an extra one. Sometimes we use it, but most of the time we use this bass drum. This is a concert bass drum. See how big it is? Ooh, it's huge. Yes, and this is the bass drum. We will use this for almost every single performance that we use because it is a very important drum, but we'll learn how to play on our drum pads first. We have our snare drum, and we'll probably have more than one up here next week when we get started. But we won't start on snares because, like I said, if we start on snares, we'll all go deaf because we're going to learn together, and we don't want 15 drummers playing snare drum all together. But these are the snare drum. You'll notice that there's a mechanism that turns the drum on, the snare on, snap it on, snap it off. Usually you leave it in the off position until you get ready to play, and then you can turn it on. It makes a rattly sound. When it's off, it's a dead thud. Okay, so we leave that off. We have the stands for the snare drums. Right here we have a set of concert bells. This is like what you might have in your bell kit. Yours might be a little bit smaller than this because this is an actual set of concert bells, more of a professional set of concert bells. And it is a mallet keyboard instrument. See, it looks kind of like a piano, doesn't it? If I look at it from this direction, see if I can turn it, you'll notice that, yeah, we have a set of 2 black keys, 3 black keys, like on the piano keyboard, 2 black keys, 3 black keys, and all the white keys. Even though these aren't colored like a piano keyboard would, it's set up the same way. Now I know it looks like we have a set of 2 here and a set of 2 here, but this one should be a set of 3. It's just where the instrument got cut off. So if we kept going, we'd have another 3rd key here, and then a set of 2, and so on. This right here is what we call a tam-tam, or we use it for a gong. You've probably seen it in maybe Mulan, in the Disney show Mulan, and the gong. It's kind of a Chinese instrument. We have another set of concert bells here. The case is on, and that's okay. The cover is on them, but all you do is just unlatch the case and lift it up. And inside is another set of concert bells. We have these 2 drums right here. These are congas, and we use those a lot for jazz band and some stuff for maybe some features in other songs, but we will use those drums as well. This particular instrument is a xylophone. Look how big that is. Oh my goodness, it's so big. It's another keyboard instrument. And like I said, it's set up just like the piano. We have a set of 3 black keys, a set of 2, 3, 2, and so on up the line. And then the white keys would be all these keys right here. Big instrument. This instrument you may only use hard rubber mallets on, and I'll teach you that when we get back more about the instrument. This instrument right here is what we call a marimba. This is a really beautiful and probably one of my favorite of the mallet instruments, mallet keyboard instruments, and it's also very big, quite a bit bigger than even the xylophone. Notice how it keeps going on and on and on. Whew, it's big. It's a beautiful instrument. This instrument has to be played with yarn mallets. We don't want to break the key. In fact, you see right here where there's a key that's a different color. This key was broken last year, and actually this key is broken again because somebody keeps hitting it too hard with the wrong kind of mallet and the wrong kind of hit. That is a key that we have to be careful with because, yes, this is made of wood. They can crack and break, and if we break it, we don't get to use it. It's a beautiful instrument. We need to take care of it. That is the marimba. I'm going to pause for a second while I get the drum cabinet opened up. All right, we're back. Well, this is the drum cabinet, and inside the drum cabinet is a lot of cool stuff. We call this auxiliary equipment that we use for different parts of the percussion section, and I'll tell you when we need something, and this is where you will find it. For instance, you'll see that the drawer is labeled tambourines. Inside that drawer, you'll probably find a bunch of tambourines. Tambourines are these little instruments with the jingles on, and we will use those and learn how to use each of those particular instruments. In this particular drawer, a bunch of marching mallets. You won't need to worry about that. My 8th graders in the advanced band will be using the marching drums this year, but you will not have to worry about that till 8th grade. In this particular drawer, you'll see some miscellaneous equipment. There's a set of jingle bells. There's a slapstick. There's these claves. You'll see some triangles. You'll see a wood block. So there's a lot of cool things in that particular drawer. Some shakers of different kinds, and some little clasps to hold the triangles up with on the stands. All works great. In this particular drawer, you'll see a set of wind chimes, and yes, they're wind chimes. We use those for playing in music a lot, so you'll see how to play those as we get going too. These particular mallets, they play the chimes, and this instrument right here that's all covered up in black, that's called the set of concert chimes, and they look like a big standing up keyboard instrument, and I'll teach you how to use that when I get back as well. We also have the bass drum mallet. This big fluffy guy is to play the bass drum clear over there with. Yep, fluffy mallet plays the bass drum. We need that nice big sound from that bass drum mallet. A little lower you'll see, oh, there's some more tambourines back there, some other mallets. There's some, this big thing is called a break drum. We use it sometimes with a hammer. We hit it with a real live hammer, makes sound. We have a cabasa. This little beaded instrument is a cabasa. We use it a lot for jazz band. Down here we have a set of tempo blocks, and they're kind of a set of different blocks that sound different when you hit them. This thing down here is a gyro, or a fish, and you use a stick against it and it makes it sound kind of cool. This side over here we have some crash cymbals. I'll teach you how to use those guys. And down below we have a set of bongos. So we have a lot of things in here. These are not to play with, but to use for different particular items. You're not allowed to touch them until I tell you it's okay, and then I'll just have you get them when you need to. So that is pretty much our percussion stuff. Percussionists, we are going to save this particular cabinet back here by this drum cabinet for you to house your bell kits in. And so this will be the spot when you bring your bell kit, you can put it in here. And if we do run out of room, we'll save some room in one of those back practice rooms back there to house your bell kits into, so that they're out of the way and not getting in people's way. But I think we can house maybe about 10 bell kits in here. We'll see how many we can get in there, but we're going to try, and hopefully we can get all of them in there. But we'll see how that works out starting next week when we all have them and what size they are. All right, and you can pause here, percussion.